Hi again. Today I want to talk a little bit about poetry. When I was a younger poet and I read a poem that just wowed me, that moved me here, sometimes it would be a little depressing because I would think, well, why should I even be writing? Because I can't write a poem like that. But after years of teaching, I know what I say to students who have that reaction. And that is that every poem is unique. It's different. Even if I tried to write a poem like the ones that moved me, I couldn't, because the poem that comes out of me is going to be different from the poem that comes out of somebody else. And the truth is, we need all those voices. You know, there's this thing that sometimes teachers say, oh, don't write another love poem. Too many love poems, right? But the truth is, how I experience love, if I'm authentic about it, if I give detail, if I give image, is going to be different from how somebody else does. And even somebody born in the same town as I did 20 years later is going to have a different take, because the language we use, the perceptions we have of the world are shaped by where we grew up, by our family, by the time that we grew up. So we need all these words, even if it seems like they repeat themselves, even if it feels like we ourselves as writers are repeating what great poets have said in the past. Today I'm thinking especially about this poem I absolutely adore by a poet named Jack Gilbert. It's called A Brief for the Defense, and I'll just read a few lines. We must risk delight. We can do without pleasure, but not delight, not enjoyment. We must have the stubbornness to accept our gladness in the ruthless furnace of this world. To make injustice the only measure of our attention is to praise the devil. I need those words. Sometimes I need to see them over and over again. And I needed Jack Gilbert to write them, even if poets have been writing words like that, words that have some possible way of pushing it back against the suffering, of defending our idea that we are allowed pleasure and happiness and joy too, despite that there's so much suffering in the world. I need those words that only Jack Gilbert wrote in only that way. And if I should try to write a poem on the same theme, it's okay. The world needs those words too. So if you're a writer, especially a young poet, keep that in mind. Write the poem only you can write. You who were born in the year you were born, the place you were born, who grew up with siblings or without siblings, who grew up having read and loved Harry Potter, who perceive the world in the way only you perceive it. Use the language that only you can use. And trust the world needs it. All right, goodbye.